And opioids killing people every day across our region. Just last night, we told you about a jump in opioid-related deaths here in the nation's capital. In the last 2 weeks alone, D.C. Fire and EMS have responded to 16 dispatch calls involving fatal heroin overdoses. But over the D.C. line in Maryland, the opioid addiction crisis is so bad that Maryland Governor Larry Hogan has declared a state of emergency. Heroin and opioids killed 1,468 people in Maryland during the first 9 months of last year. That's a 62% rise over the same period the year before. The state is launching an effort to battle the problem, even throwing in some $50 million. But is it enough? Carin Miller, that's the lady sitting here with me right now. She's with the Maryland Heroin Awareness Advocates. We're going to get your answer to that question in a minute, but first I need to ask you, your son and your husband battling this issue, have battled this issue over the years, right?
Yes, they have. My son became addicted 6 years ago to Percocet and ultimately turned to heroin and started injecting. He is 2.5 years in recovery. My husband was addicted after a car accident back in the late 90s, and so he's been battling a long time. We ended up getting him on Suboxone 6 years ago. Unfortunately, he's addicted to that now.
Mm-hmm. What's it been like for you? What's it been like in the home with both the husband and the son?
Very difficult. We have a large family. There's 6 of us, and been very difficult fighting and battling. And at one point during their addiction, I just said, I can't fight with them anymore. I'm going to fight for them, and that's why I became an advocate in the state.
When you say it's difficult, you've been battling, you've been fighting, what does that mean? Does that mean they disappeared, then reappeared? Were they able to keep jobs? Were they able to participate in family functions? I mean,
it depended on the situation. My son was the one that usually did not attend family functions. My husband was always there. They both worked. They were fairly functionable. However, there was money missing. There was typical issues, especially with the siblings having a rough time dealing with their brother being a heroin addict, and we didn't know what signs to look for.
Was he ever locked up? Did he ever have problems with the law?
He did not. He was very fortunate. He did end up moving to Colorado, and he knows that he can't move back here yet. He knows he's not ready. There's too many triggers around here for him, and he's afraid of relapse.
Mm-hmm. And was it just the husband and the son, or was it friends that they associated with? I'm trying to figure out the chaos that must have existed all around you, and as you're trying to be there for everybody.
This is so prominent. There's so many families going through the same thing I went through. Thus the reason I do what I do, so I don't have to watch any other families go through what I went through. I was so upset and nervous every time either one of them would leave the house, afraid that I would get the call that one of them had passed away when they were using opioids.
Mm-hmm. All right. How did they get help? Your son?
My son, I sent him to several treatment facilities in Maryland. None of those worked. He went right back and relapsed. I did send him out of the country for Ibogaine treatment. It's an illegal treatment in the States. And I sent him to Mexico for that. He came back and relapsed right away, but from 2 months from that point, he became sober and moved to Colorado and has done very well out there.
How much clean time does he have? Right
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Congratulations. You know, that's great. And your husband, how's his prognosis looking?
He struggles. He doesn't like to be addicted to anything. He did make the choice to get off the pills. The only way this was back in 2011, the only way for him to get off the pills was to take Suboxone at the time. Mm-hmm. We weren't aware of a lot of the other medically assisted treatments like Vivitrol.
You are speaking out to help others in your situation.
Yes, sir.
Because it's a family disease. We were talking in the green room. It affects everybody in the family, okay? And we're gonna have her information and more on our website. You're gonna want to go to that, you know, #OffScript. Thanks so much for coming in. Let's keep this dialogue going.
Thank you.
Try to reach and help some other people. Really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you.